Handy Group. Can I help you?
Documents library. The librarian, please. It's Massey here. J. Massey. Oh, hello. It's Massey, International Relations Section. I want the BT 1971 file sent up to my office, please. Yes, I know it's restricted, but I am on the list. Look, all I want is the name and address of our Middle East agent in the 1971 geothermal experiment. Yeah, I know you can't just give it like that. That's right. But you can get someone to look it up and phone it through to my secretary. Oh, and ask her to bring it straight into me. Thank you.
Massey's office. Oh. Well, did he want that? Well, I didn't know he'd asked for it. All right. Yes, I'll give it to him.
The impression is quite clear, Mr. Birch.
Good. Well, what was his name, then?
Mehmet Farah, Osman Pasha Kadeshi, 83, Istanbul. Tudesi means street.
I know, Webby. Thank you.
That worked rather well, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Who is this Turkish gent?
An agent of Hendy's in the Middle East.
Hendy's?
We were asked to get his name by our market research department.
Do you know Hendy's, then?
Mr. Birch has done some work for them some time ago.
For the chairman, yes.
Sir George Hendy.
Who are the clients, Webby?
I understood his Hendy's were.
That's ridiculous.
In what way ridiculous, Mr. Orchard?
Why should Hendy's ask us to steal secret information from their own files?
Exactly.
Doesn't sound like Sir George's style. I think I'd better have a word with him, privately.
How privately, Mr. Birch?
His home would do.
Farah?
Farah, yeah.
Never heard of him. This is tropical corn, actually, and these surroundings simulate its natural conditions.
Yes, well, someone must want him, you know, because we've been asked to obtain his name and address from your company's files.
Who are you with now, Mr. Birch?
Labours, George.
Well, I think I've heard of them, but I have not very much idea of what they do.
Well, it's a business consultancy. Among other things, we do market research.
And what's your position there?
Well, I run a little business intelligence unit on the side, of which they're not very proud. They don't care to examine my methods too closely, being a reputable firm, as long as I get results, you know. You'd be a very valuable client for us, Sir George.
Well, I'm afraid I am not.
Then who is?
I don't follow you.
This Mehmet Farah in Istanbul, he still represents you there, doesn't he?
Not as far as I know.
But you still have markets in the Middle East. And he was involved, wasn't he, in that geothermal project of yours?
Oh, supplying heat from natural geysers.
That was the information we were getting. Yeah.
It didn't work out. It was before its time. Since then, we've been doing bread and butter work, which my board seemed to prefer. This is what I'm on now. Desalination. Now, this one will go. The seawater is sucked up here and down through these rather jolly little filtering devices here and out drinking water there. We've been doing feasibility studies for the aid people in the Middle East. And the next stage is to build 4 experimental plants. One in North Africa, one in Asia Minor, one in Arabia, and one on the Persian Gulf.
All Arab countries, huh?
Yes, it cost about $250,000 each.
Well, that's not much, is it?
I want to give the developing countries something they really need. Not guns to fight each other, something basic, like water. My company hasn't forgiven me the research money I spent on that geothermal business.
Tell me, Sir George, is Hendy's alone in this operation?
Oh, we'll get the contract. We've done the research.
Any other countries?
There are several. There's Belgium and France, but they haven't our experience.
What companies?
There's a joint company called BioSoleil, headquarters in Paris. Why?
Because, Sir George, someone has asked Labours to obtain information from your company's files, and he says he's acting for your board.
He most certainly is not.
Well, it's quite obvious, isn't it, that someone in your group is leaking information to someone outside. Are you sure you don't need our help?
I don't normally use undercover men, Birch, but I'll make an exception in your case. Now, this project of mine is sponsored in the Middle East by the European Agency for Developing Countries. Their representative out there is the UK aid man. Now, perhaps you could have a talk with him. His name's Dyer.
Where is he?
You'll find him at the British Consulate at Istanbul.
Travel secretary? Would you book Mr. Birch on flight 416 to Istanbul? Today? Yes, first class, of course. Oh, and he wants an hotel. Thank you.
Come in, Webby.
Your ticket and hotel reservation will be at the British Airways desk at London Airport. Good. And a Turkish assistant, Mr. Fayad, will meet you at Istanbul with a telephone scrambler.
Fayad, yeah. And I'd also like to know who our mysterious client in Hendy's is. Put Orchard onto it, will you?
Very well, Mr. Birch.
Sure.
Are you going to phone your wife?
No, I don't think she'll be in. Phone the one I've got, will you, Webby?
Hello? No, dear. The best hotel, not the biggest. He's not a tourist.
The castle Rumeli-Hisara was built by Sultan Mehmed II in 1452 during the siege of Constantinople and 1 year before its capture. Each of the towers was built under the direct command of a vizier, and the whole work was completed in record time. It only took a few months from start to finish. Music has always played an important part in Turkish military and cultural life. The instruments, you see, were selected centuries ago for a particular purpose, to be heard over a long distance. Some to inspire fear and reverence in the hearts of the soldiers, others to stir emotions and religious fervor.